Hello guys, welcome to another tutorial. So today I'm going to be showing you something different as usual. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can set up a project with AI, a backend related task, and um, how you can use AI. I did a video on that way back, or there has been a lot of improvement since then. Since every day AI gets better. So there have been a lot of improvements, a lot of update in the AI world. So I just want to do another one, to show you guys how you can build a backend, with AI. It doesn't matter the tech stack you are using, majorly. Okay, so guys, so we're going to be looking at the tools that we can use like I was saying, every day AI gets better. So there's a lot of tools out there now that you can use to speed up your workflow. So I'll be focusing majorly on the back end today, how you can quickly set up or even start up a SAS, a SaaS application, and how you can do that, set up the back end really easily with AI and faster. So this is going to speed up your workflow by 10x. You know, I'm going to be showing you the technique. So the language really doesn't matter. If you're Python developer, you can still apply the technique to it, but I'm going to be using Node.js, Node.js, JavaScript. So that's what I'm going to use. So today so let's get into it. Let's get into it. So today we're going to let's build a project management app. We're going to start by building the backend. I'll show you how you can, use the proper way to use AI to build such project. So let's imagine that we want to build a project managing app. I'm going to approach this like I'm doing it personally. So I've not pre-recorded this video. I'm just doing it, like a fresh, like a live stuff. I've not, like recorded some before and all that. No, I'm doing this, the way I would do it if I'm working on the application and I want to develop a SaaS application, the way I do it personally for my project. So you're really going to learn a lot from it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to know the projects that you want to work on, which we've talked about. We've said is a project management app. So this project management app, the first thing you want to do is to plan it out. So I like to use AI to plan out my applications. So I'll come here, and I'll use ChatGPT for the planning, but I'll use both for the implementation. So both is going to build the application, but I'm going to use ChatGPT to prompt both. So I'm going to apply some prompting techniques. If you don't know about prompting technique, I have a book on Amazon that you can use to learn all the prompting techniques. There are some research that has been done, and it has been proven that there are ways which you can prompt AI and get better results. Things like the tree of thought, you know, the role-based prompting, few short prompts or something, things like that. There are different ways you can prompt AI to get better results. So I'm going to start by giving it a role so that it knows, to prepare the AI by giving it a role and some background information. So I'll tell it, okay, so the role I'm going to give it is I'm going to give it the role of a technical team lead, and a project manager. Or you can give it a system architect, you know, someone who knows about the whole application and all that. So now, I've given it a role and a background information, which is role is a software team lead with 10 years experience in building successful SaaS application, you know, and a little background, you know, as a project manager. So I need to now give it a little information about the app I'm planning to build. So I'll say I want to build. So I'm doing this like I would do for a, a SaaS application that I'm going to push, to production. This is exactly how I'll go about it. And I know that you will learn one or two things from this. So right now I've given it a role and I've given it, and I'm now telling it, what I want to build, which is a project management app. I want to build a project management, and also I've given it the user base, you know, who this app is for. It's tailored for developers and tech enthusiasts. Then also I can provide it a little more background information by saying, uh, so, after saying this, then usually if I want good results, I wouldn't just ask it to start writing the code. No. Instead, there's this trick I like to do, and what I'll say next is, let's plan. Need help in planning this app. I need help planning this app. Let's start planning this app. So this way now, you are opening the AI up for dialogue. You're not just giving it command, do this, do this, do this, do this. So I'm asking it to go into a dialogue mode. So this way it can suggest some features I might have overlooked, or not even thought about. It will suggest those features, and we can brainstorm. We can brainstorm that way. So I'll just send this. I don't know what's wrong with I think I need to refresh this page. I'm just gonna refresh that. So you can see here that we have started planning out the application. You can see that it has started planning out the application. You can see basic features, project creation and management, create, edit, deadlines, blah blah, task management, time tracking, team collaboration. So even things I don't think about, it will give me, ideas of it, advanced features, agile methodology, support Scrum and Kanban boards, yes, code, repository integrations, all that you can see. Um, you can see because I said it's a SaaS application, so it's giving me the option of having premium features here, where you have AI integration, support projects, timeline, blah blah blah, integration with dev tools, resource planning, and all that. So then it will give me tech stack, Next.js, Tailwind CSS, and Material UI. Database, it even plans out the database and all that, and then it will even plan out the timeline for the project. See the development plan, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Is you know my uh is it's doing this because it already understands my approach of the way I've done this a lot of times, so it knows. So that's why it went straight into defining the code purpose. But for if you are just doing it for the first time, it will probably ask you some questions, give you some ideas and all that. So if you want it to give you some suggestion, you can just put that. You can see here, what do you think of this starting point? Let's refine based on your vision. You can see team structure and everything, timeline 3 to 4 months. You can see all that. Phase 3, 3 to 4 months, which is AI integration. It has basically planned the project out. So but this tutorial is not about prompting. If you want to go into prompting, and you want to be able to utilize all this AI properly, take a look at my book. I created a book on Amazon on prompting. It's for anybody. You can just take a look at it, but it's tailored for developers, just for if about $4, or that's not even enough for a cup of tea. So the worst scenario is that you already know what is there. But I doubt if that, because even I had to study, I had to I bought some courses on AI, to be able to understand how to prompt AI properly. So it wouldn't do you any harm to spend a few bucks, learning about the tools that you use. So I'll drop a link to that book. It's something you can it's not a book of 100 pages, that's just about 30 pages, and it explains the prompting, the different prompting methods that we have to use. And then you can start, implementing those. So I would like to go straight to the point, because this is not a tutorial on prompting. So what I'm going to say, I'm just going to say, okay, this is fine, and let's start with the MVP phase. So now I want to generate prompt for this MVP phase. So this tutorial will be, for this MVP phase. So I'll say, okay, this looks fine. Okay, this looks fine. Let's uh let's further plan out the MVP, MVP, MVP phase. Yes. I'm sending that, so you will see it will uh, plan that out in a more detailed way, breaking it down into, you can see the MVP goal. So these are the MVP features now, the core features. You will not get this kind of details that I'm giving you anywhere else. This is, as a developer, the way you can get the most out of it. So you see, it's planning out in detail now the MVP. You can see the features here now. You have the user authentication and profile management, of project management, also where we create, edit, delete projects, add projects, view all project, in a dashboard, list or card view. See, it can even it's going into details to basic profile, blah blah blah, task management, collaboration. So now it understands the AI now I'm using more of chain of thoughts now, because the AI now understands, the phase we are in right now. It understands how the app is structured, So now it will give me better results when I start generating the code. You can see the user flow. It's even did the user flow tech stack uh for the MVP framework, Next.js, state management, React context, or ZOS. This is just a suggestion. If I don't like any of that, I'll tell it, and it will change it. backend Node Express. Yes, I like this. This is exactly what his choice of choosing Node is because, I've been working, this is my account that I've been using, and it has noticed that I work mainly with Node.js Express JavaScript stack, basically, which is the main stack. So that's why it's suggesting, Node as my backend and my Next.js as my front end. I'm MongoDB as my database. So Firebase or password. Firebase auth or password. You can see real-time upload here. So one thing I'd like to Firebase, I'll change this. I would like to change this. So I'll save for the backend. Let's for backend. Let the main authentication use JWT, and then OAuth, such as OAuth, such Google, GitHub, etc. So let's keep looking at it. Deployment versus backend AWS or render, blah blah blah. Timeline. You can see timeline. Deliverables. So I'm going to say this now so that it can correct itself. But this correction now is going to use up more tokens. Initially, I didn't want to do that because I'm going to use up more tokens. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop it here for now. I'm going to edit this. Instead of just putting this prompt, I think so you can see the response here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to say let's start implementation. Implementation to stop. Also, so now I'm going to specify the architecture I want. I want the service architecture. So if you're a Node developer, you understand what I'm saying. A lot of people like, doing their app. When I build my app, I like it to follow, standards, you know, follow a architecture and best practices. So I'll be following the using the services architecture, which is like the MVP, but the view layer will be removed since the view is the front end. We don't have the view layer. But we are also introducing the services. So the services will be the one taking care of the database interactions and all that. And then we have the controller, and then we have the route. So ensure to use the services architecture. So by saying that, I'll also explain what I mean in brackets, which is the model controller services and route structure. Also ensure the AI uses TypeScript, import statements rather than common JS, rather than common JS require model, and use a custom logger rather than console log. Remember, we are building this to production grade. We are not going to be using console log. Maybe I'll do a video explaining why console log shouldn't be used in production. But if you're working, you shouldn't use console log because console log blocks the I/O, the input output operations in the Node.js application. So basically, if you are using console log, you can reduce the reduce the speed of your application, especially if you are building an app that needs a lot of logging, and you're using, console log, it can reduce the speed. So rather than that, we're going to use an external module, to manage logging, which is preferably because external module is asynchronous. Most of them are asynchronous. They are not synchronous like console log, and they support high level logging, abstraction, and file based logging also. So you can log to a file, a dedicated file with all those modules. So an example is Western or Pinot, Pinot Pretty. So we're just going to leave it to make his choice. I'm not going to give it a specific choice concerning that. So I think this is enough. Let's send it out. I have a lot of errors in my prompt. I don't know what's wrong with my network today. Okay, so I'm going to send that out. So you can see it's writing out the prompt, the step-by-step way. You can see steps, step 1, step 2, step 3. And then it's basically broke it out into, adding JWT, add OAuth, and that. So now it has, so you can see all this is the first prompt here. But I still feel this is like much, depending on the AI you are using, but it's a bit much. You can see the second and the third prompt, adding collaboration and elaborate, blah, blah, blah. Second point, prompt building core features. So let's go on and now copy the prompt here. I'm going to log in. So I'm logged in. Let's just paste in the prompt and let's see what it will do. I'm going to full screen this for now. You can see initializing setup. I'm seeing it's using CommonJS. There's an error. I think I'm not sure. Let me see. Once it finishes, I think we need to take a look at it. I'm not sure this is going to, because I'm seeing CommonJS somewhere there. So you can see as initialize, let's see what it did. The TS config is not yet, it's not configured. You can, let's see the package.json express course element. Okay, passport. I'm not seeing, okay, JSON web token is there. Let's see this is one thing about both. Sometimes it doesn't do everything you ask it to do. You can see it didn't implement this. I'm not saying, it didn't implement this. Actually didn't do what it was asked to do. Because if you look at it well, this is a passport. Okay. Okay, remember that we have not yet, our prompt is not yet complete. So that is why he only implemented the things contained in our prompt. You can see the authenticate function here. So the model, we only have, it has only initialized the user model. Remember, we are taking it step by step. We have the auth route, or it's not doing what it's asked to do. I'm just going to say this, all database interaction should be in the service layer, and logic should go into the controller, and route should only be for routing. So it's going to refactor that. You can see now that we have the auth controller now. You can see, that now we have let's take a look at the services. We have the auth services. Auth, find, create auth user. It's here. You have the generate authentication token. Everything is there. Let's look at the controller. You can see now it is, this auth service. You can see it's using a class, it's using classes here. And you can see this way instantiate the services. So this is good. This is good. This is exactly what you want. So now we can continue with our prompting. Let's move on to prompt number 2. Let's ensure that it did the whole thing in prompt 1. Initialize the project, use Node, service architecture or imports, blah, 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 instead of common, blah, 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 custom logger, Western instead of console log. Don't think it has initialized the let's see, config.ts. Okay. I don't, it hasn't implemented the, okay, yeah, this is the logger. You can see here, it just created a folder. It hasn't really done anything because we haven't given it instructions concerning that. Step 2, configure dependency install. You can see it that. Choose install or Pino. So if you look at the package.js now, you see we have one of them. Install is there. So add JWT-based, it has done that. Implement utility for signing in, verify. It has done that. Implement OAuth for Google, blah, blah, blah. It has done that. So, but it didn't implement the logger. Let's see if our second prompt, implements anything concerning logger. No. So what we're going to do is, so that's why you have to go over what it does. Don't not just, it created the folder for logger, but it didn't implement the logger. So I would just say, write the prompt for, write prompt to implement the logger. So this way, it's just going to give me a prompt for it to implement the logger. Sorry, I wanted to copy. It even wrote out the code when I didn't even ask it to write out the code. So let's copy the prompt here for the logger because we need that to be set up. I'm going to add that. Just being careful because of the I'm going to because of the token limiter. If not this, might have to span multiple. Anyway, let's continue. It's going to implement the logger now. Is putting it in the utility folder because this prompt asks it to do that. Initially it has created a folder for the logger here. Okay, this is just logs. This is just the logs. Okay, I see. This is his own logs, not logger for. So anyway, that was good. He has implemented the logger. So now we can continue. Let's continue with our application. Let's go and copy the prompt, second prompt. Is to build core feature. Let's take a look at the prompt here. So this prompt involves, setting up the user management. He detailed all the things about the user management, even the API routes. You can see step 2, project, and step 3, the task management, so the notification. So let's see how it responds to that now. So it's creating the project model, the task model. First of all, you can see. So you can see that this way is like one of the best methods you can use out there for generating your backend codes. You can see that. Let's now take a look at the model implemented here. This is the project name, description, created by model that. Let's take a look at the user model. Okay, should have added a role to the user. It's name, the provider, password, email. So you see, it hasn't worked on the user. So you need to give it a prompt to update this user accordingly. Or let's take a look at the task. Okay, these are the things you need to take note of, and do a lot of, scrutiny and look into it, make sure that it's correct. So you don't just give it instruction and think that AI will get it at once. So you have created by the members, that is the user ID. Okay. Okay. Let me see the services layer. The services layer, create project. Okay, yes. I have the get projects. Okay. Update projects. Okay. Delete projects. Add member. Good. This is exactly what we want. The task, create task. Okay. You can see that it's logging, as it's logging all these things, which is good. This is what we want. Have the info, the log, the error logs, and all that. Good. This is good. Let's take a look at the controllers. We have the project controller here. Create project. You should call the service. This the service. Let's see if service was instantiated. It was instantiated here. Private project. You can see it. This dot project service goes on. Oh, good. This is good. Let's take a look at the task. Get task. Project ID. Good. This is good. Update task. Delete task. Create a task. Get tasks. For this, there's a way. I'm seeing project ID. Okay, to get tasks. for a project. This is okay. Yeah, that's fine. And the project you have get projects. Let's see. Do we have get projects where you get by user ID, all the projects belonging to a user? Okay, yes, it's getting by user ID. User. Good. So you can see that it has done all that. The only issue I have now is with the user. I'm going to just prompt it, give it a general prompt here to update the user that with the role. There's no need to generate a prompt for that. I'll just say update the user and ensure we have two types of users. We have two types of users. The admin is the owner of the project, owner of the project, a project, and members. Is there really a need for this? Because a member should also be able to create a project. I don't think we need this abstraction. We don't need this because even a person who is added to a project should be able to create his own project. You know, if he has a project, he should be able to also create a project. So in that way, I think we don't need this abstraction. I'm just going to take that out. So what we need now is the third prompt. Implement the third prompt. So this third prompt, let's take a deep look at it so we understand, what we are sending to the AI. So we are creating collaborators, add a comment model. Okay, author ID, timestamp, implement the services, add a comment, fetch a task, set comment by task. Okay, modify task assignees, log the notification in this phase. Okay, modify task assignee. Okay, step 2, basic analytics, project analytics, user analytics, utility function. Good, ensure all APIs are well documented. Okay, so the third one is documentation. Okay. Prepare it for deployment. That we don't need this last comment here, so I'm going to remove it. But this is okay. So let's give it. I'm just going to remove this deployment. I think this is for us, not for this AI. ChatGPT is not perfect. Sometimes it does mistakes. That should not be part of the prompt. So this is the third layer of the prompt. Let's send this in and see improvements it may make to it if it will do everything. So so you can see as it has started the preparation, that's the analytics. Good, it's working on the validation now. Midway. So you can see if you are not a follower, a subscriber of this channel at this point in time, you're missing out. So click on that like button, click subscribe for more, well-detailed tutorials like this. I'm going to be dropping another video very soon where I'm going to be breaking down bolts for you. I'm going to be going into the intricacy. There's the open source version of bolts. I'm going to show you how you can, turn it, how you can, make it give you, the just almost the same response like the original version. So turn on that notification, subscribe, and turn on that notification, to get updates that you won't get any other place than this channel. We've been let's continue with let's take a look at the analytics. This is the analytics. Let's see do we have services for analytics? Okay, yeah, we have service layer. You can see get project analytics, get user analytics. This is just everything is done for us already. All you need to do now is to test this and fix the few errors that you have before deployment. Make sure everything is working well. Add your environment variables. So you can see this is beautiful. See the analytics. Let's continue. Controller, also get project analytics, get user analytics. I'm thinking you should use aggregation. Let's see in the analytics. For those of you who know MongoDB, you know what aggregation is. For those who don't know, okay, so this place is using find total. Okay, so this is what I don't like here. Why is it using find? To get the task and then use length. When it could have just used an aggregation. To do all this. This is just it means we are running so many queries by fetching all the tasks here. So these are little things you need to look at. So I can just simply instruct it here to use aggregation, for the analytics, instead of, to try to use as much analytics aggregation as possible. You can see here, get user analytics is using aggregation here, to do the count. I expect that that's what it will do with task, or it should have used count document instead of using find. Let me see, was this task being used elsewhere? Okay, I think. Okay, it also, yeah, but you could use aggregation. Okay, let's just go on. So you can just take a look at it. Anything you don't like, you can just instruct the AI to do that. So it's mixing aggregation here. I know some people, so they love, instead of aggregate, to go, if you are going aggregation, use aggregation for your query. But this is still okay. This project does count document. Yes, this is fine. Using promise.or and also doing an aggregation for the task, for each task that belongs to a user, I guess, the same user, to count the number of completed based on the status. Okay, it's returning the total project task, total task by status. It is completed, in progress, and all that. So you can see here, we've built a full-fledged MVP project management app. So in the next tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how we're going to continue. If you want me to continue this tutorial, you can download this, signify in the comments, and we'll do a second, to finish it up. But now let me just show you how you can, test it. Definitely, there are going to be errors, especially because we're using TypeScript. I think I instructed it to use TypeScript, but I'm not seeing typing here. I don't think it's used TypeScript. I'm seeing, okay, it's used TypeScript here. It's used TypeScript. So, and when you're using TypeScript, there's going to be a lot of errors. A lot of errors that we'll probably have to fix. A lot of typing errors if not handled properly. Not a lot, but at the same time, you understand. Let's spin up this project. Let's extract it. I'm just going to cut this out and take it to my development, YouTube. Paste it here. I'm going to extract this. We extract all. Now let's open this. Let's run the command cmd to open this first. If I do on the cmd, then let's open our code editor in the folder. So here is our editor. So the next thing we want to do is install our dependency first. So I'm going to remove this package lock because I don't want to use npm. I'm going to run yarn. You can use npm if you want. So I'm just going to come back when the fast forward the video to when it finishes. I'm having a error project. Was an error unexpected? Okay, I think this has to do with my network. Yeah, so I've installed the npm packages. Now let's start the application and see. But there's one more thing we need to do. We need to add our env. So we already have the Mongo URI. It already did this. So if you don't have MongoDB on your system, you need to install first for this to work. Or for me, it's already installed. JWT secret expires in 7 days. Okay, I'm going to leave this Google Auth out for now. No DMV 7000. Okay, that's good. So this should be sufficient. Let's test the rest of the application. And let me check we have a dev. Okay, we have a dev script there, and we have a start. So yarn dev. Let's run the dev. Let's see if there are errors. Connected server is running. This seems to be working. This seems to be working. Our server is already running. So, but let's try creating an account. Let me open up the auth route, which is here. I'm seeing using passport here. I don't see a username password. So I'll just ask it to add authentication for username and password. Let's go back to our application. So I'm going to say, yeah, generate the prompt to create the log in sign up route using username and password, username and password. JWT authentication. Let's enter that. Okay, so let's copy this and go to code. I think I've closed it the other time. Let's go gonna go here. So I'm just going to paste it here. This. Okay, let's take a look at the authentication route. I'm not seeing the, well, let's just make sure it's the orders are, you know, implemented. The local Google and GitHub. We have the local. I don't see the local authentication route here. I see Google, GitHub, GitHub. I don't see a route for authenticating. But let's just make sure everything is there for so undo OAuth, undo Google, okay, undo GitHub. Okay, so I'm just going to prompt it, you know, by just saying add a custom user sign up using just their email and password. Ensure to also include the services and the route out for um, user sign up and login using the default email and password as an alternative to the OAuth already in place. So you can see now is creating this, that's created the service, the controller, the route. Now it's creating the validation middleware. Let's take a look at what it has done. Let's go through the route first of all. This is sign up, this is login. Okay, so now we have that, you know, and we can just download it. Let's download the updated code. So basically what we're just going to do is, because we already have we already have the one we're working with, so I'm just going to go to my code base, open the folder, go to the root folder. I'm going to paste it here, replace it, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna let's update the name. Remember, we already have a folder with the same name. This way, when we extract it, it's not going to be giving us errors or something. Extract all. It has extracted it here. Now, what we just need to do is copy the source folder. We're just going to copy the source folder and go back to our application and just paste it here, overwrite the old one, these files. So that's just it. So you can see now we have our sign up. Let's take a look at sign up uh, route auth controller, auth controller, sign up. This is the sign up here. So you can see. So let's try calling the endpoint. Let's use the postman. I'm just gonna create a new uh a new collection and call it project management. Yes. So let's create a request, add a request. This is going to be a post request. And this is going to be localhost 3000. I'm just going to put this and then change this 3000 slash. Take a look at the folder structure. Coming to the route is the authentication auth route. I'm going to split the screen here and I'm going to go to the root because I want to see how the route is. Passport initialization. This is a type error which you can fix easily. But let's just go on. We have slash auth leads us to the authentication route. Just be slash auth slash sign up. If I'm correct, I'm just going to go back, make sure. Okay, you can see a sign up. I want the validation. Let's check the validation rules. We have the email, password, and the name. It's required. Okay. So body raw facing. Email, password, and name. Just gonna give it an email at email.com. Have the password. You just give it a temporary password since we're just testing. I'm gonna say password 123. Then you have the name. The name, the iTech. So let's send this out and see what happens. So this is working. You can see here it's working. We have the access token. We also have the refresh token. For those of you that know what the refresh token is, when your access token expires, uh, usually the backend will use the access token to regenerate another token for you. So this is working. You can see we have a functional application here. It was just remaining it for you to just go over it, all the routes, and make sure you test the route individually. Make sure everything is working appropriately. So now we have a user. We can log in. Let me save this. Then we can duplicate this. And let's change this to login. Can rename it also. Let's test the login. So this should be login. Basically, you send the same thing, your email and your password. Don't think we need the name. We don't need the name. Let's just send that. And you see, we are logged in. 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 We are logged in We have the access token and the refresh token. So we have a working application. Let me create a project. So that will be API/project. I'm going to duplicate this again. API/projects. And let's check out what we need. So we have the post route here for creating so what we need to check also is the model for the project. You can see here we have the name, the description. So let's just do that. We don't need created by to be generated automatically. We don't really need to pass status because the default is active. So let's create a project. Change this to name. Okay, we already have name there. Name. All we just need is the name of the and the description. Description. So and just give it a dummy text as description. No need for password. So let's see. Authentication field, yes, that's expected because we haven't passed in the token. So let's pass in our access token. That should be bearer's token. Let's try that again. So you see, we've successfully built a project management app using AI, and everything is working. So guys, I hope you learned something from this video. And if you definitely picked one or two things from this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. If you are not subscribed, then I don't know why you're watching this video. Or if you've been, gaining one or two things, make sure you click on that subscribe, because I'm still going to be dropping more tutorials that are going to be mind-blowing. I'm going to be teaching you some things you can never get elsewhere in this channel in the coming few days from now. So kindly like and subscribe. We're still going to build our own AI. We're going to build our own code generation AI very soon. So like, subscribe. See you next time.